my parents were like, what the you doing? Like, are you stupid? Like, why are you trying to launch a limoncello brand? Limoncello is old, it's boring.
You also need a lot of money.
You need man. I budgeted 150 grand to start this business, and we ended up getting close to 500,000 instead. Thankfully, we had enough money between the two of us because my best friend's a silent partner in it. But if we didn't have that, we'd have shut the doors straight away.
Welcome to Dining Room Stories with Domar and Andrea, where we take you behind the scenes of the restaurant business world with stories and conversation that inspire.
Today on Dining Room Stories, we're really excited to have a guest who embodies the courage of reinventing tradition and to follow a dream, even when it means to start over again, right? So welcome to Dining Room Stories, Stefan Di Benedetto, the founder of Solbevi, the world's first limoncello spritz in a can.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited.
So excited.
Ciao Stefan,
Ciao.
benvenuto.
Grazie.
Fantastico. Stefan, you are Italian or some Italian origins.
Yes.
Veneto and Sicilia.
Exactly. Mum's from the north, up in Veneto, near the border of Austria and Italy, and then dad is from Sicily. So best of both worlds, the beach and the mountains.
Limoncello. What's the connection there? How was your limoncello story growing up?
I think like most Italians, people make limoncello. Like it's just something you sort of grow up with as a kid, not necessarily drinking it as a kid, but watching your family make it and enjoy it. So we were the same. My family always loved making limoncello. They still make limoncello. And it was my favorite drink. I really enjoyed the memories of making it with them and watching them make it, peeling the lemons, all that sort of stuff. So, I've just always loved limoncello. So we thought, why not get involved?
You are a very energetic guy. That's
to
what
be.
it takes to build a brand from scratch.
Try
Well
my
done.
absolute best. Thank you.
You were working in construction though.
Yes.
What's your story between starting in construction, tier one, and moving to the beverage or hospitality industry?
Yeah, so straight out of school, I wasn't doing too well in school, so I headed towards construction management. Something I always enjoyed though, and I thoroughly enjoyed working it. So, big tier one builder in the city called Multiplex. Working in management though, so I guess I developed a bit of business skills around that, and then did that for sort of 6-7 years, and then moved over to a consultancy with my cousin. Again, in construction. It was during that time I sort of came up with the idea, alongside one of my best friends, to make a limoncello spritz in a can. We were actually sitting on his nonna's balcony down in Blair Gowrie. He's from the north as well. And this was COVID. So 2020, we were making limoncello. Well, I was making it for him, I suppose. And we were drinking it with our girlfriends at the time. We both love limoncello. Growing up Italian, you have it as a little shot, you sip on it, beautiful. But the girls found it too strong. So we decided to, make a spritz for them. And then we're sitting there and we're thinking, why has no one made a limoncello spritz in a can or in like a ready-to-drink option? So then began the 3-year journey of sort of on the side, because we both had successful businesses. We didn't have to sort of worry about it. So it was just a bit of a side hustle, and it was only meant to be just a bit of a passion project, make a few extra dollars on the side. Beautiful. But no, we sort of dove into it, spent 3 years working on it, and then we got to sort of March 2023. Everyone was about to embark on their trips to Italy. COVID had just finished. The year before, I went to Italy to see the family. Limoncello spritz was everywhere. And by this stage, we had the recipe sorted. So I thought, you know what? Everyone's drinking limoncello spritz over in Italy. It's super popular at the moment. People are going to start traveling now because COVID's finished. They'll bring it back. Social media is a powerful thing. They'll be taking videos. It'll pop up on Instagram or TikTok and all that sort of stuff. So let's launch in August. So we launched it in August, and it just sort of went bang from there. And as most people probably know, limoncello has become one of the hottest drinks at the moment. So it's pretty crazy to see.
Well done.
Thank you.
Your brand is really fresh, the marketing that you're doing behind.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the project. Of course, I love limoncello a lot. And I really like the idea how it started because that drink was too strong for your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you start building the business, and then you had this brilliant idea around 2020 and the end of COVID. And then 3 years on the go, right?
Yeah, 3 years
Been
on the
working
go.
out, right?
Yeah. So while trying to run another business, I was, building the website in the background after hours and, working on the formula. So the formula of the can was made using a SodaStream. I was living in a big share house at the time and making limoncello for the boys and letting them try, and then making them spritzes and just making the liquid, putting in the SodaStream, carbonating it, and seeing until we got the final recipe. But all the back end stuff of the business, registering it, finding a new name because we failed trademarking, and trying to find a name that was a made up word essentially, Solbevi, sun drink, had all the domain, the .com, the trademarks across the world, the social media handles, all that sort of back end stuff that you spend so much time on was done over those 3 years when working in construction after hours.
So basically, you started the project while you had like a full-time job at the same
time.
Yeah,
of course. So I spent 3 years building it, and then when it was ready to launch is when I made the transition and got out of construction and started this full-time.
So how was what were like during those 3 years the biggest hurdles for you?
Trying to go from making limoncello as you make it at home, maybe a litre, 2 litres, and making a spritz on the bench, to making it at 20,000 litres. Like the growth from the scaling from a small product to a big product, and making the recipe scalable so that we could grow and then hopefully take it around the world like we are. That was probably the biggest challenge. But even just we used to be called Sunday Spritz, and then thank God trademark failed because it's a terrible name. It forced us to find a new name. So you're sitting there, we sat there for 20 weeks it was, writing, I've actually got photos of different names on pieces of paper, putting words together in Italian, using our heritage to try to find a new word that wasn't really a thing in Australia. And you'd find one and you'd have a list of 10, and then you go, cool, first thing, is the ABN available? Is the domain, the .com available? Because we don't want the .com.au because we want to take it around the world. So .com. Is the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, are they all available? So that was a challenge as well, trying to find the right name and registering it and then trademarking it was pretty challenging. So, but then we could talk forever, because even just finding someone to make the product and put it into cans and get the design right. And
I love the design, by the way.
Thank you.
It's like, to me, there is something really sexy and also appealing that stays over the years.
Yeah.
That kind of like 60s style, a little bit like come dice, colazione da Tiffany, like Tiffany breakfast, that kind of like New York style, then adapted to the Italian culture. And by the way, I love the colors that you can see, like with like bright colors.
I think he nailed the name.
Solbevi. It was the best
really
thing
cool.
that ever happened.
Yeah.
Like, I was so angry when I first got rejected, Sunday Spritz. And then I've actually got a photo the other day. We had 5 names. This was after the 20 weeks. We put like 3 thumbs up to say which one we liked the most. And Solbevi was the last on the list. But we took it to someone and he goes, this is by far the best name. And I'm like, whatever, let's just do it. Let's just launch it. Best thing that ever happened. Absolutely love the name.
But you're also talking about a redesign, right?
Pardon?
Redesign. You want to... So
we're going to redesign, it's confidential, but we're going to redesign our bottle. We're going to make it...
I didn't know that.
We're going to just create... We've gotten to a point now where we can create a custom bottle, our own unique product. We own it. Kind of like April and Campari. They have their unique bottles. We want to make our own.
I mean, what I'm saying is like, it's pretty... I just love the 60s like style and with coloring and...
The can's it's my favorite by far.
I like it, yeah. That's like... I mean, similar to Cosi, because, the branding of Cosi is like the Dolce Vita, no?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful concept. And to me, like Dolce Vita is like this like kind of 60s Italian style, right?
Yeah. The instruction when I was designing the can was create me a vintage poster, kind of like the ones you see in Italy and in your beautiful homes. Create me a vintage poster so that we can sell, and let's work back from there. We had the name, so we created a vintage poster, 2 of them, which both sit in my house now, big A0s, stare at them every day. One that wake up in the morning, it's just outside the door so I can look at it, and then create the branding from that. So it was all based on like, that vintage, retro, Italian sort of Amalfi Coast vibes. And you're meant to look at it and be like, transform me to the Mediterranean coast, with the Amalfi Coast in particular.
And there is like a really fine line, subtle line between honoring tradition,
of course,
and reinventing it with innovation.
100%.
How did you have people skeptical around the actual project? Like,
100%.
Family and friends.
My parents were like, "What the you doing? Like, are you stupid? Like, why are you trying to launch a limoncello brand? Limoncello is old, it's boring." But that was the whole reason for starting it, was that limoncello has so much potential, but traditionally did sit on the shelf as an old school sort of Italian looking bottle We wanted to modernize it, make it a bit more trendy. So take that heritage and that tradition, sort of bring it to life and target younger consumers.
Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying the episode. Remember to subscribe to our channel to get updates and keep enjoying the rest of the episode.
And just show the world that you can do so much with limoncello, which again, we've got places that make desserts with it. We've got people that marinate chicken in our limoncello. We've got spritzes, all sorts of cocktails.
I didn't know about
lemon
the
thyme chicken. It's
To
quite
be
cool, actually.
honest, since you launched 2 years ago, in my restaurants, limoncello spritz is booming.
It's crazy, huh?
Everybody wants limoncello spritz.
Yeah.
Not even an Aperol spritz anymore.
We're outselling Aperol in a number of our venues, which is amazing. And I'd like to say we are a big part to play in it. We have a little part to play, but it is the fact that everyone went to Italy, traveled, and the culture over there is amazing on the beaches there, and everyone's drinking limoncello spritzes. So that helped us a lot, obviously.
But it's still not that mainstream in Italy, limoncello
No,
spritz.
depends where you are. In Veneto, they don't drink it at all. It's crazy, like a limoncello spritz. But obviously Amalfi, Sicily, Rome, everywhere.
Stefan, you have a very entrepreneurial mind, but you're not just a typical entrepreneur. You're also a businessman. Very young, but very structured. Where this business mindset comes from?
It's a good question. I mean, none of my family, direct family, aren't in business, never have been. They've just worked for someone for a very long time individually. So I don't think it's from them. I think the work ethic has come from my parents and my nonna in particular, 100%. But I've always just wanted to be better than everyone else, which kind of sounds selfish and arrogant, but I've just wanted to always be better. I've always wanted to do more. I want to take on the world. It's always just been something that's instilled in me. I'm not sure why. Even when I first started in construction, I was one of the youngest sort of managers in my position. And it was always because I just wanted to do better. I wanted to be better than most. I wanted to be the boss first, just to sort of, it's probably a self-satisfaction thing more than anything. I didn't want to be what my parents were and just live a sort of mainstream life, living sort of paycheck to paycheck. I wanted to really have a nice life, successful life, look after my parents, look after my girlfriend, look after my friends. It's pretty important. Like I always love paying for my friends. It's just, gives me a lot of satisfaction being, I suppose, generous in a way.
You are now scaling the business with senior product in Qantas, Dan Murphy's, and a lot of more places.
Yeah.
How do you enter those businesses?
Qantas is a different one. Our story, I actually did a TikTok about it the other day. Qantas, I met someone on a plane and just rocked up to their head office one day and
in Melbourne?
In Sydney, flew to Sydney and just went to their front door basically and said, hey, I'm looking for this person. He said, I can't see you, we're not allowed to. And I said, well, I've flown all the way from Melbourne to come see you. Do you mind just coming saying hello? Let's grab a coffee. And we did. We clicked. He tried the product, loved the product, and then it sort of started from there. Obviously, then you go through pricing, contracts, and everything. But getting into the major retailers is quite challenging, especially now in our sector where there is a lot of competition. We are fortunate enough that because we were the world's first limoncello spritz in a can, sort of gave us that upper hand. So in Liquorland, for example, we are the only canned limoncello spritz, which is fantastic. Dan Murphy's, there's a few competitors now. But basically, you just, for us, I found an email address for, I guess the email address for the category manager at Dan Murphy's at the time, who was an absolute legend, and I owe her a lot.
And how did you guess the email address?
I found online the name of the person, and then I got off a friend the Endeavour Group sort of email address. But you can also, like, little trick, you go to danmurphys.com.au. That's the domain. That's typically what their email address is, at danmurphys.com.au. Guessed the email address, kept sending it out. I would have sent it, I reckon, 9 times before I got a response. And then we got a response saying, apologies for the delay. I'm so sorry we haven't gotten back to you. To be honest, we haven't seen a product that looks like this in a long time. We absolutely love the design. And given it's the first, let's have a chat. Jumped online. It was shitting myself, like very, very nervous online. There was no real public meetings just yet. It was still sort of the back end of COVID. I was in my construction job, so I sort of hid in the office and took the meeting, and he just goes, I love your passion. I love your dedication. We find that with brands, it is the passion, the dedication that makes it work, not just the money or just someone trying to launch a product. So let's give you a go. So we started on their website for a couple of days. 9 days in, we got our first 9 stores. That grew to 30 and 113. And then just recently we got 100% ranging with them, which was pretty cool. So just pushing, visiting every single store around the country. I've done that 3 times. I've traveled to every single store. very expensive, but you need to do it. Meeting the managers, giving them a 4-pack, letting them try, and just creating relationships. I think in most businesses, relationships is everything. So it's something that I brought across into this business, and I think it's pretty important.
Do you like to focus more on retails or restaurants and bars?
We've got an even split. So we've got a big presence with our RTDs, our cans, the Limoncello spritz in retail. Our liqueur, the bottles, is more focused on the on-premise sector, bars, restaurants. And every country that we enter, we do the same thing. The bottles we focus on the on-premise, the cans in retail, and it gives you a nice split. But most brands I find are built in that on-premise, the bars, the restaurants, one of your restaurants, they might see a Solbevi Limoncello spritz, and just subconsciously they see that name, Solbevi, and they see it in the store and they're likely to try it. So it's a nice even split, thankfully.
The concept of like sun has been applied also like to beers and different other products before, but I think I like the Sol and Bevi that is like really nice. So it sounds really nice. And going back to, I would say the biggest brand in Italy, the one that actually created the Bella Vita.
Yeah.
You're talking about Aperol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they know you exist? Have you ever had a conversation with them?
I believe they do. For a number of reasons. We did some sort of cheeky marketing at one point in time. But the industry is pretty small. Although you think it's a big industry, at the end of the day, the people that work in it, it's quite small.
Especially in Australia.
Especially in Australia.
It's a very small market.
Exactly right. They definitely know about us. And in a good way. We always say we're not trying to take them on. We're not trying to compete against Aperol. Mm-hmm. We want to join them. We want to sit next to Aperol and Campari in every venue around the world.
Yes. So sitting close, right?
So sit close to them. There's no point fighting them, trying to win against them. It's not about that. It's about creating that whole spritz category, Campari, Aperol, Solbevi spritz. That's what we want.
Yeah, I love it. But it's like, sorry, because it's Veneto.
Yeah.
So Aperol spritz is your blood, basically.
Yeah, of course.
It's like you can't really change that.
How do you scale? What's the strategy of scaling your business? Is that Australia first and then New Zealand, Italy, US?
Italy's actually the last, I think. Too much competition. But Australia was always the focus. They always say try winning your own market, which I agree with. But at the same time, there was a big focus to launch overseas. Being the world's first meant that we would be the first in many countries. So whilst we started to get a good foothold here, my focus straight away was to New Zealand, which is like another state. It's just there. And then Southeast Asia was a focus straight away. I wanted to get into as many markets as I possibly could to be the first, which again, because being the first helps. It just, people remember the first most of the time.
Eric Rice, of course,
so,
like the 22.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's immutable, like laws of
22 immutable laws of marketing.
And that's great because it's first in market, like. But yeah, that's correct. So what you're saying is like you must be the first in the market in every market, right?
Exactly right.
So it's like now it's as fast as you can go to penetrate the new markets, right?
And we had a lot of interest as well. So my thing is always take your opportunity. So I've acted on it, and we entered 4 markets quite quickly. New Zealand. So we're in New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, and we're about to do the Philippines as well.
Great.
People ask why Southeast Asia. It's because it's so hot there. Here in winter, it's cold.
You're talking about the weather, right?
The weather.
Oh,
yeah. The weather, yes.
I love Southeast Asia, don't get me wrong.
Amongst other things. The weather. So in Melbourne or Australia and New Zealand, it's cold during winter. Yeah. People don't lean towards an Aperol spritz or a Solbevi spritz or a Limoncello spritz or whatever. Southeast Asia, it's hot all the time, constantly hot. So there's that appeal for a refreshing lemon-flavoured drink.
Always keeping the production in Melbourne.
Always keeping the production in Melbourne. In saying that, New Zealand, we make in New Zealand. That was a decision to support the community over there. Amongst other reasons, we had a really good manufacturer and distributor that look after us really well, and they wanted to take on the whole, I guess, business for us over there, and it's working really, really well. They're amazing.
What about taxes? Because, people see the finished product, but in Australia, we have very high taxes for alcohol.
Yeah, the tax is pretty scary. Given we're a lower alcohol percentage, we're not too bad compared to others. But because we are a spirit-based product, we pay the highest tax in Australia. So to put into perspective, our bottle, which you see on the shelf, it sits on the shelf for $50. The tax on that alone is around $22 for one bottle. As soon as you make it and you sell it, you pay the tax on that bottle. So when you sort of do the numbers backwards and think, okay, it's on the shelf for $50, what you must sell it for, ship it, the retailer margins, it's a pretty tough industry just because of the excise in particular and the competition. But to put into perspective, our cans, we sell 4 of those cans at Dan Murphy's and Liquorland for $24. In New Zealand, we sell 10 for 30 New Zealand dollars, which is about 28 Australian dollars. So there's $4 difference. You get 6 more cans just because the tax is so different over there.
That's a big difference.
It's crazy. And people look at it and wonder, gee, that's pretty expensive. It's just because the tax is so high. Like, we're forced to do that. It comes from the government, it stems all the way to us, and it sends to the consumer at the end of the day, which sucks, but it's just the reality of it. And everyone's in the same boat, fortunately. So it is what it is.
But also it's maintaining like production in Australia and you know what I mean, community based in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
So it comes to a cost.
It does.
So do you think consumers understand that you're actually investing also in community and like local production?
Do I think they understand the taxes or the production?
No, I mean the focus. Like, I can see that you're a passionate guy and you love your community. And also, you know what I mean? You don't say, oh yeah, I'm expanding in new markets. First thing, I'm going to go cheap, go and produce somewhere else.
No way.
That's beautiful. I mean, possibly consumers must understand this. But my question is like, do you think from a brand perspective, they understand that the product is local? And
I hope so. We try and tell people that it's obviously locally made. We do a lot of markets and things like that. We talk about that all the time because it's really important, especially for Australians. They love Aussie made. In New Zealand, they love their locally made products as well, which is kind of why we sort of help support the community over there. Like, it's the good thing about in those markets, Australia and New Zealand, is that you're putting money back into your own economy, which is great. We could easily go to Asia and make it there for a fraction of the cost, but it's not the same. Like, I live in Australia. I want to support Australia. Although it's really expensive to make things here and it's really hard to start a business, especially in this industry, it's still our home country. So I'd rather the money be here and I'd rather look after, we employ people now, which is fantastic. We put food into our own friends' mouths, which is really important. Sending it over there whilst, those economies struggle and everything, they're third world countries, whatever, it's still important to us that it's locally made and it's ingrained in everything we've built in the business.
Yeah, it's great. So you have a lot of friends and you help in the community and you actually try to do something for this beautiful country that
100%.
He gave so much to me and probably also to Homer, right?
Another question. Do you ever feel the pressure from traditionalists that say limoncello should stay limoncello?
Man, that was probably one of the hardest things. Telling my family, and they're like, like I said, what are you doing? Why are you changing tradition? But I think I was mentioning to you before, the strategy at the start was to never, and it still is, don't target Italian restaurants because they think I make it myself. It's not traditional. It's not this. It's not that. We were trying to change the mold with the tradition in a way. We want to keep the heritage and tradition there, but elevate it in a new way. Hence was the can Limoncello spritz, and hence with our liqueur, we brought it down to 20% ABV because we were targeting a broader customer. So yes, when we did the Italian Festa, for example, I was really, really, really nervous because the Italians would be like, oh, it's not strong enough. Oh, I make better, which we get all the time. But the response was actually amazing. It was our best show we've ever done by far. And the Italians loved it, which was fantastic to see, especially the younger ones. It's good to see that whilst it is traditional and there are products out there which maintain that tradition, amazing. And I still make 38% at home, the crema at home, love it, my favorite. But it's a business, we're selling to a broader population. They preferred the lower ABV, they preferred ours, so that's why we kept it that way.
To make it a spritz, do you use prosecco?
No, we don't, which is controversial as well. We have actually we haven't had too many, but we've had a couple of people be like, it's not a spritz. And there's no legal definition for a spritz, and I've done all the research in the world and we've got legal advice on it. The fact that it's sparkling makes it that sort of spritz. I chose not to put prosecco in it selfishly because I didn't like prosecco, but also with our bottle you can make one with prosecco and soda water. Typically the older generation like prosecco, so they would make it at home. They'd buy the bottle, they make it themselves. They don't like drinking from a can. I found a lot of younger people didn't enjoy the prosecco so much. They enjoyed a sort of lighter, refreshing version which didn't contain the wine element. And you'd be surprised how many people prefer that. So many people will come to us and be like, does this have wine in it? I'm like, no. They go, you can taste it. It tastes so much better. And I'm not saying that to be biased. It's just generally how people are reacting to the product. They prefer the fact that there is no wine in it. So
that's very interesting.
Yeah, it was controversial at the start. It was definitely scary. I remember at the start, I definitely second-guessed my decisions to, 1, lower the alcohol in the liqueur, and 2, not put prosecco in it. There was many moments where I thought we're making the wrong decision, but it's turned out for the best.
One of the videos that I like more on your Instagram is the Limoncello spritz done at the Continental in Sorrento. It's like your local there.
Not my local. I wish. I don't have a house down there. I wish. We just have a very close relationship with the Continental and that group of. We just did the National Ferrari Rally there on the weekend, actually.
Nice.
190 people, 90 Ferraris from around Australia at the Continental. It's pretty amazing. We just have a good relationship with them.
Yeah, different colors. Ferrari is red, and the Limoncello is like.
They got the yellow in the logo.
yeah, that's right.
True.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Great. And so we were talking about like tradition and innovation.
Yes.
I think Italy it's also like moving towards like a new phase because I spent like the last 6 months in Italy and I love seeing that we're really traditional.
Yeah.
But at the same time we're getting more and more open to new ideas and products. Also, Italy is really conservative, but it's so beautiful that second generations Italians are creating something new. It's beautiful.
It is. I mean, the traditional part, and that's why I love going to Italy every year because more so for where my family's from, it's small town, so it is very traditional. And for us being in Australia, it's amazing. It's the best thing in the world. It's just like growing up as a kid with your family, with your nonna, all that sort of stuff. But the world's changing quite quickly. Innovation is happening all around us, and I think social media helps that, elevates it. It sort of introduces new ideas, and people at the flick of their hand can see something new. So I think over time it's going to change. Like in my family over there still only drink straight spirits. But the kids are slowly starting to adapt into like cans and things like that. So they're a bit behind us, but it'll change for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I never had like cans spirits before coming to Australia. That's pretty common here. But like in Italy, I think it's getting a little bit there, but we're not super used. But,
which is not a bad thing though. Like for other people to go over there and see Italy as it's meant to be is beautiful, especially the food. Like eating in the restaurants and everything's so traditional.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
No, but it's like we can drink on the street in Italy, so that's like you can sit on the park and have a drink.
Yeah,
so
but
that's
you just don't do it.
No,
well, maybe an aperitif, yes.
Yeah, I think you do. But you can go and sit on aperitivo. Like for example, like in Frio, I love this. Like I don't remember the name, but there's one place you can actually have cocktails on the beach. And I was
that's
like,
Bathers Beach House.
Yeah,
we're stocked that.
Oh really? Yeah. That's amazing. Like to me, it's like why cannot have a drink on the beach?
It's crazy, huh? No, you go to Italy on the beaches. There's beautiful sunbeds everywhere. People sitting in the sun, having a drink, eating good food. Why it's not a thing here, I'll never know.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I went there, like I love Frio. It's like one of my favorites.
That's the only place in Perth where you can drink on the beach. Only one. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
and I mean, Melbourne we don't have the weather, but Perth you do.
I mean,
Queensland you do.
Sometimes we got also like, I mean,
and also Queensland wants to create beach clubs.
100%.
Which everybody's opposing it, but I believe it's a good thing.
It's a great concept. When people go overseas to Italy and to Greece and wherever, that's the busiest part of those countries is the beaches where people are having a drink. Like that makes no sense to me.
It's a bit controversial, that beaches should be public.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to carry an umbrella and
people are getting a bit lazier. Exactly. They want to enjoy it.
Also in Queensland, you should be aware of crocodiles. That's what I'm saying. People like get drunk and then it's like you never
go in there and
I don't think in Gold Coast, but
but that's exactly when you talk to people, it's like I'm never gonna come to Australia. Like it's like
dangerous.
Oh god, yeah. And then it's like how many? There are a lot of animals that can kill you here, right?
Every time you talk to the family in Italy, or even I was in America a couple of weeks ago. Oh, you're from Australia. You have so many dangerous animals. Come on, man. It's bad, but it's not that bad.
And so you're saying like of course Australian-based product and idea. You're definitely an international entrepreneur already, right? How do you maintain like consistency and how do are you true to yourself towards yourself while you're actually scaling in different markets?
I try to be as best as possible. It's hard. The thing about trying to grow a business so quick that I'm finding at the moment is that my life is 100% work. 110%. Like there is unfortunately no time for family, no time for friends, which I mean, being Italian and just being, I guess, kind of a social person that I am, I love time with family and friends. Like I've had a girlfriend for 10 years and thankfully she's so supportive of this, but otherwise like, do I see her much? No. So trying to keep those core values of family and friends is actually been really, really challenging. I'm constantly on a plane. I'm interstate. I'm overseas. Working till late, working every Saturday and Sunday. to get ahead in life and it's something I'm passionate about. So it's a bit different. So I don't mind doing it. And luckily, again, been with Amy for 10 years. So she understands and she supports that dream and she knows that I'm doing it to give us a better life down the track.
Why do you want to grow so quick?
Well, it's not necessarily growing as quick. It's entering new markets on purpose, like I said, to be the first. Being strategic that we don't go too quick. Like we've had a really big opportunity in the US, but I've turned it down because it's not feasible. We need a lot of money.
Not yet.
Not yet, exactly. So I'm being strategic about how we do it. But actually, Campari told me this. I shouldn't say this, but I got told by them, by a friend of a friend of a friend, that what they look for in businesses is someone that can prove their concept in multiple countries. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting into these markets first, and I want to prove to people that a product is not just a thing just for 2 years and then it's going to go away. I want to prove that it fits in multiple cultures and it can last test of time, just like Aperol and Campari have. It's always there. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Are you the man behind the brand, or there is another brand or person?
We had no, I can't take 100% credit for it. The idea of the girl in the donut, yes, in the water, yes, was us. But we met a friend. The only person that was somewhat related to alcohol, we were introduced to through our accountant. He's the one that told us to change our name, actually. Once trademark failed, he goes, you need to think global. Your Sunday Spritz is not a global brand. Solbevi is. But he helped us with the branding and had a designer who helped produce the final elements. I don't know how to use Photoshop or CAD or whatever it's called. So,
how do you choose your team right now? Based on what?
Work ethic is the biggest thing. We've gone through a few staff recently, but I'm pretty happy with who we've got at the moment. You hear a lot of people talk about it, but you can basically train anyone to do anything. If they've got the right work ethic, they're willing to learn, and they have those characteristics of just being a good person. If I don't like you as a person, you're definitely not going to work in the business. It doesn't matter how good you are. You need to show that you have the willingness to learn, and essentially have a good work ethic. Like it's a small business, it's a startup. All our staff that start with us, I say, hey, just so you know, like this is not a corporate job. This is not a medium-sized business that's been running for 5-6 years. It's plodding along nicely. This is still a startup. It's hard. It's grunt work. It's a hustle. It's big hours. It's my mind's racing at 100 miles, different times, different places, different countries. It's always just changing. And when I talk to my team, I'm like, you'll see that I'll be talking about one thing and I'll switch to another. You just got to be able to withstand that and know that this is what we've got to do. We're just got to work in it together and get it done.
Startups are great because you have a lot of energy behind the team.
It's
hard to maintain.
Work.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain.
You also need a lot of money.
You need man. I actually did a video the other day. I budgeted 150 grand to start this business, and we ended up getting close to 500,000 instead. Thankfully, we had enough money between the two of us because my best friend's a silent partner in it. But if we didn't have that, we'd have shut the doors straight away. During that time, over the first 2 years, we ran out of money twice. Like, it's such an expensive industry, such an expensive business. People forget the fact that we'll go produce 80 to 100,000 cans at a time. You drop all this money.
Yeah.
You might drain your bank account down to zero, but then you need to sell it to get your money back. It might take 2-3 months to sell, or sometimes a month, depends how quick you are. You don't get paid for 30 to 60 days after that because your payment terms, all people are delayed because their businesses are struggling. So,
and you need to pay taxes in
advance. You got to pay taxes in advance. You got to pay staff. So you spend all this money here. You're maintaining, paying marketing, excise, freight, staff. You don't get paid till then. By then, the money's already gone. So it's a really hard business to manage from a cash flow cycle.
It's like, I think for the first time, in Italy where we use because I run business and I got clients in Italy too. So it's like pretty normal, like 30, 60, 90 days. Not just for like a big distribution, but like people usually they pay late. But in Australia, like in general, from my experience being here 10 years, well, more or less, people were paying on time.
Australia's changing as well.
Australia is changing. Like lately, it's like
everybody's under pressure.
That's what it is.
The consumer, the businesses.
100%. Everyone's under pressure. Everyone's feeling the toughness of the economic conditions everywhere in the world. I was in America, like I said, in America a couple of weeks ago, and they're feeling the same thing. So we have a lot of suppliers that can't pay us. It's the way that sometimes we can't pay people on time. It's just the way it is. It's very tough for everyone.
Yeah, but on one side, like what I really always appreciate about the market here is like people want to, not all of them, but like most of the people, like let's say 85%, they want to pay on time. I pay on time.
100%.
I like that.
Everyone has the right intentions.
I love this culture.
Exactly right.
It's kind of like supporting each other in
100%.
that. Also, but you're also into distribution better than me. I'm like with all your restaurants. So you notice a change in that
A
sense.
lot. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure, as I said, for the consumer, for the businesses. So, payments get delayed unless you have a cash flow business. But, this one is not a cash flow business on a day-to-day basis.
Not at all. Not at all. We're not a day-to-day business. We get
So-
paid exactly might get
Yeah.
paid once every 2 weeks. It just depends when it lands.
When you sell out your stock, I'm sure you're happy. But then on the other side, you need to rebuy all the stock to
100%.
produce everything.
And when we can't, when we're like, it's a strict rule of mine. We're not allowed to run out of stock. And we've been close a couple of times because sometimes you get a big order. We can't run out of stock because if Dan Murphy's or Qantas or Liquorland or New Zealand, whoever it might be, Singapore, order, we need to facilitate the order, especially the major retailers. Their priority, and same with Qantas. If it's not on the shelf or on the plane, I'll hate myself forever. It has to be on the shelf for people to buy.
Where do you get your lemons from?
Everyone asks me this, man. All around the world. We started in Australia, but it's too hard.
Not enough.
It's not enough.
Lemons are really expensive.
Lemons are expensive.
Sorry, I'm curious. Like, where do they produce lemons in Australia and Queensland or Victoria?
We used to buy ours from Sydney, but we used to buy it through someone. So,
Oh, interesting.
but we get them from all around the world. All around the world.
I mean, the best ones are in Sorrento, right?
Yeah, but they're
Sorrento,
too
Italy.
expensive. Too expensive.
You've seen all those brands, even in USA, all these celebrities launching tequilas,
Yeah.
and all these brands partnering up with celebrities, obviously for exposure. Have you ever thought about having a celebrity on board? Who
100%.
would it be?
It's actually something I've been thinking about for the last sort of 8 months, I'd say. The challenge is finding someone and then not losing your whole business. But the person would be Daniel Ricciardo. So if you're watching this, Daniel Ricciardo, please reach out because you're the man. Charisma, he's Italian, Aussie Italian. Like he holds a lot of characteristics like the business do, I think. So Daniel Ricciardo is the person. But we are, because you see what these businesses do, how it can just elevate a brand and it can just go crazy and sells off the shelf like crazy just from one post or one message, even just saying on the news that Margot Robbie's associated with Papa Salt. It makes a big difference. We unfortunately don't have that. We don't have the marketing dollars to compete against that. So it is kind of like I wouldn't say an easy way out, but it's a solution to really fast track your growth and your reaching consumers. But to find the right person is really hard. You kind of don't want to go too lower of a grade celebrity because it doesn't get you far. We're an international brand. We need international presence. So it needs to be someone that's known around the world. Unfortunately, with those people, unless you can really sell it to them, like they have people coming to them left, right, and center. They have a lot of money. They don't need us. We need them. They know that. So to try and get them on board is, without giving away absolutely everything, is pretty hard to do, or without having to pay them. So the ideal person for us is, like I said, Daniel Ricciardo. But it's finding someone that is willing to either invest into the business, which has happened, or take a small equity stake in the business so that they're actually involved in it. They're entrenched in it. They love the business. They treat it like it's theirs. I would not just pay anyone to become part of the business. It means nothing unless they love the product, they love the brand, and they love the vision more so than anything. Then I'm not interested in them. But yeah,
Solbevi means drinking the sun. I can imagine like being on a beach during the sunset and enjoying this beautiful drink.
Yeah.
What's the feeling connected to?
It's exactly that. It's to be sitting on the beach. Like the concept and the vision we had early days was to be sitting there and just sitting on the beach with your friends, having limoncello spritz and just being like, how good is this? I mean, I'm sure you guys have been to the amazing, beautiful beaches there are in Italy. And you just sit there and like, this is amazing. And that's why so many Australians, actually Americans, everyone are going to Italy because the beaches are just so beautiful. The concept of there sitting on the beach like we're talking about, having a drink is just so amazing. So the vision with our product is we just want people to drink it and feel like they're sitting on the beach, loving the memories of enjoying an aperitivo or having a nice drink with their friends and just really embracing that element of fun.
You're making me salivating. Can we try the
Let's
drink?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sugar,
Can we?
We got drink in the sun, right? All right.
Solbevi.
2, 1. It's always
Salute.
nice. Salute.
Salute. Cheers.
That was good.
I've drunk so much of this in my life.
Sorry, but by the way, it's the first time also for me. It's like a lemon soda but like less sweets. And I can't really feel the alcohol. That might be the problem, right?
That's what a lot of people
Actually,
say.
like
It's
it
important.
without the alcohol and prosecco.
You prefer it?
Yeah,
Actually, this is pretty
and
good.
I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Oh, good. It's meant to be extremely light, extremely refreshing. We want you to be able to drink 100 of them and not get sick of them. Like that's the point of it. It's not too sweet, not too strong. It is only 0.8 standard drinks, and that's on purpose.
great
You can
idea.
drink a couple, you can drive, you can actually enjoy them and not get drunk. Like it's not a drink to get drunk. It's not a brand to go and get drunk. It's to enjoy with friends and
What's the alcohol
memories.
percentage?
4.2%.
Or like a beer?
Like a beer, but small can, 0.8 standard drinks.
Oh,
And that's one standard drink. So you can actually have one and drink. And drive.
You can have two and drive
2 and drive. Super good.
responsibly.
Yeah. That's one interesting question. So when I got clients of people just asking me like to do advertising for alcohol in Australia is pretty complicated.
Oh,
How do you
yeah.
actually handle like advertising? What's the angle that you use for the brand?
I'd like to say we're really good at it, but it's tough because the easiest thing you can do is set your restrictions to 18 plus. As simple as that. But actually, once we didn't have it on, I didn't realize someone must have accidentally turned it off. I don't know. We got in a lot of trouble, but it's pretty hard. It is a bit easier in Australia. There's a lot of countries like Malaysia is really hard. You're not allowed to promote alcohol, given a Muslim country. I think Thailand have actually nailed it. They're the smartest. So with Singer beer, they make soda water, and they promote soda water, but you see the big Singer up on the screen, so people know the brand. It's quite smart, actually. But for us, we promote as much of the lifestyle of the product as we can, rather than promoting excessive drink or anything like that. We don't promote it around water. Yes, we have videos of people enjoying it around water, but there's always a disclaimer: don't drink while swimming. Obviously, there's always the pregnancy warnings and things like that. There's the key sort of elements that you stick to.
in Muslim countries, have you thought about doing
Non-alcoholic.
a non-alcoholic Solbevi?
Yeah. I literally had a thing. We've got like 270 comments on a video in Malaysia, and they're all just like, can you please release a non-alcoholic? I've been thinking about it for probably since I started. My only concern with it is then it's not limoncello. It's
It
just
would be much cheaper and
it'd be
would
much
become
cheaper.
effectively a soft
But
drink.
essentially becomes a soft drink. If we could maintain the taste and everything, which I reckon we could, I would consider it.
I think you can.
I think there's definitely a market for it for sure. You'll drink it. Yeah, legend. There's a lot of people that have mentioned they drink it, and the Muslim countries we do really well in. But then again, you compete against. Already we compete against a lot of brands. Then you'd be competing against.
But
Solo.
if you launch the brand, and all these big companies are always looking for somebody that has proven already and launched the
true.
brand, instead of doing the heavy lifting right now,
That's true.
they prefer to buy somebody out.
Yeah, someone that's done all the hard work, created a bit of a brand, created the name, proved the concept like we spoke about before, and you're attractive to them. Maybe. We'll look at it.
Yeah, so drinking the sun. I think also mocktail. I mean, the mocktail market be also interesting for you. Not just about like opening the market, but talking to like people, like Ali, for example. You say he doesn't drink alcohol, so it's like, oh yeah, I love it.
There's definitely a market for it. I mean, the good thing is it opens up like a whole new market. One of the hardest things being in this business, and the fact that I'm very, very strict on our vision about being like Aperol and Campari, so having just a liqueur and just a ready-to-drink option, that's all we'll have. The challenge about that is that you limit yourself to sort of...
Yeah, because you're first in the market now, right?
Yeah.
So I understand. Like, so
But you can't really go anywhere else because it's not like releasing new flavors to innovate and, hopefully grab some new customers. And we're sticking to two products. So it's a challenge, but equally, it's what a lot of people find really interesting and attractive because we do have a very simple business model. So,
But you still be the first in that category. You be the first limoncello spritz, no alcohol.
there's a few now. They've started.
really?
They've started. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they've started.
You can still play on the first
100%.
limoncello.
100%. There's a few things we could do. We're looking at doing a collaboration with someone that is a non-alcoholic brand, because then it's not necessarily us making it, but it kind of is in a way. But we'll see. To be honest, focusing on two products is more than enough at the moment. It's
It is a
work.
lot.
It's a lot of work.
So Stefan, if your grandparents will see you now with your new creation, do you think they would say? What would they think?
Don't know. I don't know if they'd be upset because we've changed their recipe a little bit. I know nonno from Sicilian side, which is not where the recipe was from. Nonno's both of them are extremely, extremely proud. They've sort of taken something from their heritage, I suppose. I mean, they're the most loving people in the world regardless. So anything you do, they're going to be proud of. But every time I go see Nonno, and obviously we only speak in Italian, but he goes, how's it going? You selling a lot? It's just so, it's all he cares about is just how is it going? How's it selling? He loves it.
There will be something, bravo Stefano, you've done a good job, you took the tradition.
Yeah. And he loves drinking it. Like I invited all my friends to the warehouse the other day and I said, Nonno's coming over, he's going to teach us to make sausages. He's an old butcher and obviously loves making sausages. 80 kilos a week he makes, he's insane. At 90 years old. And he sits there, his back's pretty sore and everything, so he's sitting down, the boys are doing all the work. Had 6 of them at 90 years old, just sitting there just drinking away. Drinking away. He absolutely loves them. We've got some funny videos with him actually. There's a video about to come out with him. So he's a champion. He just loves it. Loves being involved.
So
loves
curious.
the fact that it's just us trying to do something cool.
Here's about the videos and the marketing and buona fortuna. Good luck with everything. It's been such a pleasure to have you here, Stefan, today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here.
So happy to see young entrepreneurs like you going national and international. It's really amazing. So,
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
It was a real pleasure meeting you. You are an incredible and very energetic entrepreneur.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here.
We are sure you go very far with this product. Drink Solbevi. Salute.
Solbevi.
Ciao.
I'm just joking. Oh, thank you. Hey guys, thanks for watching the episode. I'm gonna see you in the next one.
Welcome to Dining Room Stories with Domar and Andrea, where we take you behind the scenes of the restaurant business world with stories and conversation that inspire.